When a singer steps up to a microphone and hits a powerful note, they are transferring immense physical and emotional energy into the air. The vibration of their vocal cords, the tension in their jaw, the micro fluctuations in their breath, it all creates a living, continuous wave of pressure. We rely on digital technology to capture that exact feeling. But the standard method we use to record that wave actively filters out the subtle biological nuances that make the performance feel human. Since the dawn of the CD, the audio industry has relied on Pulse Code Modulation, or PCM. It is a system that tries to represent a continuous physical event using a rigid set of digital coordinates. This diagram shows exactly how PCM works. It takes the fluid shape of the sound wave and forces it onto a rigid lattice. It measures the amplitude of the wave thousands of times a second, creating a series of static snapshots. Between each of those vertical bars, the system simply stops recording. Those blank spaces between the snapshots contain the microdynamics and texture of the voice. By ignoring the space between the points, the digital grid discards the raw emotional intent of the artist. Look closely at this wave peak to see the first type of damage this causes. Because the acoustic event happens exactly between two lines of the digital grid, the system cannot record its true position. The computer has to guess. It forcibly snaps that peak to the nearest available timestamp. That subtle shift introduces a temporal error known as jitter, warping the timing of the performance. The moment the file is saved, that damage is locked into the audio. The second problem happens in the frequency domain. To keep file sizes manageable, digital formats slice off the top of the audio spectrum. Anything above 20 kHz, the technical upper limit of conscious human hearing, is deleted. But decades of research into the hypersonic effect indicate that the human nervous system physically reacts to those inaudible frequencies. That deleted data contains the overtones that make up the soul signature, the biological bandwidth that gives a recording its depth and presence. By forcing every sound onto this digital grid, we are storing a flattened, compromised approximation of the art. The Phoenix 8A audio format approaches this problem by abandoning the digital grid entirely. Instead of compressing the audio, it extracts the underlying mathematical truth of the performance. Instead of taking blind snapshots, the system uses an analysis pipeline called the Ignite engine. It reads the incoming audio stream directly in the time domain, analyzing the exact geometry of the wave as it happens. The engine dehydrates the sound, separating the complex audio into distinct, meaningful events, isolating steady harmonic tones from sharp transient attacks. Once isolated, they aren't saved as rounded-off coordinates. They're translated into precise mathematical formulas, stored as exact, rational fractions. The resulting 8A file holds the pure mathematical DNA of the artist's performance, preserving the exact physical relationships of the sound without any grid to constrain it. To hear that math, the format uses a synthesis system called the Rise engine. This engine takes those dehydrated formulas and rehydrates them, synthesizing a perfect audio wave in real time. Stored as mathematical relationships, the performance can be rendered at any resolution, 96 kHz, 192 kHz, or a massive 768 kHz archive. The Rise engine generates the curve directly from the source equation. Zoom in endlessly, and there are 0 upsampling artifacts. A single 8A file provides perfect playback resolution that scales up with your hardware, making the recording completely immune to the aging of digital formats. Storing audio as semantic mathematics also unlocks an entirely new approach to post-production, managed through a feature called the performance patch. Editing a standard digital recording is like trying to unbake a cake. The sounds are permanently mixed together in that rigid grid, but an 8A file keeps the musical elements isolated and mathematically distinct. This interface shows how an artist interacts with the format. Instead of destructive equalization or filtering, they can open the dehydrated file and adjust isolated variables. They can increase vocal vibrato intensity or add weight to the harmonics of a piano chord, all without degrading the original master data. By maintaining complete control over the underlying mathematics, the format ensures that the original physical energy of the room, the air pressure that actually drives a speaker cone, is preserved exactly as it occurred, even decades into the future. The Phoenix 8A format captures the living, interactive acoustics of the performance, securing the artist's exact intent for as long as the music is played.